Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the second unit, that is forms of business organization. Today we will discuss about various forms of business organization, concept of sole proprietorship business, features of sole proprietorship business, merits and limitations of sole proprietorship business. After going through this topic, you will be able to list the different forms of business organization, identify and explain the concept, merits, and limitations of sole proprietorship business. Ruchi has taken a keen interest in baking. She wants to start a bakery business. She's a bit confused whether to start a sole proprietorship business or to go for a partnership with her cousin. She is planning to expand her business in future and start a company. So she is in a fix as to which form of business organization she should going in for. Before selecting a form of business organization, let's have a look on various forms of business organization. Forms of business organization. Introduction. There are sole proprietorship business, joint Hindu family business, partnership, cooperative organization, joint stock company. These are the various forms. And now we will start with the simplest form. Sole means single, proprietorship means owner, sole proprietor means single owner. Sole proprietorship business concept. Sole tradership or proprietorship is the oldest form of business organization. It is also known as individual proprietorship or single proprietorship because it is owned by a single person. It can be started by anyone having initiative and aptitude for selling. A sole trader is a person who carries on a business exclusively on his own account and at his own risk. A business owned, managed and controlled by one person is called a sole proprietorship or a single proprietorship business. The owner directs business activities and may supply all management and labor used by the business. There are various applications of sole proprietorship business. You can see it in retail trade, handicrafts, agriculture, forestry, and fishery. Features of sole proprietorship: formation and closure, liability, sole risk bearer and profit recipient, control, no separate entity, lack of business continuity. These are the various heads which we will go in detail. The formation and closure of such type of business is very easy, as there is no separate law that governs this form of business organization. However, in certain cases, license may be required. The closure of sole proprietorship business is also very simple. It does not need any kind of legal formalities to be completed. Unlimited liability. The liability of sole proprietor is unlimited. In case the business assets are insufficient to settle the claims of the outsiders or external liabilities, the personal assets of a sole proprietor may be used to settle these claims. अनलिमिटेड यानी कि जो सोल प्रोप्राइटर है उसकी लायबिलिटी अनलिमिटेड होती है अगर उसके बिजनेस में लगातार लॉस हो रहा है, बिजनेस की एसेट्स कम पड़ रही हैं और सेटलमेंट ऑफ लोन नहीं हो पा रहा है, थर्ड पार्टी का पेमेंट नहीं हो पा रहा है. इन दैट केस द सोल प्रोप्राइटर इज बाउंड to sell off his personal assets so that he can settle the claims of the outsiders or the third party. He is the sole risk bearer and profit recipient. बिजनेस में जो भी फेलियर है, रिस्क है, वो सब कुछ सोल ओनर को, सोल ट्रेडर को खुद ही बेयर करना है, क्योंकि उसके साथ में कोई भी और पार्टिसिपेंट नहीं है. Being the sole owner of business, the success or failure of business have to be direct effect on the sole proprietor. The sole proprietor himself bears all the risk of failure and enjoys all the benefits of the success of his business too. Control. The sole proprietor enjoys a centralized control over his business. यानी कि पूरे बिजनेस पे उसका खुद का कंट्रोल होता है. पावर टू टेक डिसीजन इन एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द बिजनेस. द सोल प्रोप्राइटर हिमसेल्फ टेक्स ऑल द डिसीजन. ही नीड नॉट टू कंसल्ट एनीवन. नो सेपरेट एंटिटी. इन द आइज ऑफ लॉ, there is no separate identity of the sole proprietorship business. Both the owner and the business are treated one under law. Objectives of sole proprietorship concern: self-employment, अगर आप चाहते हो, investment of self-generated capital, independent decision making, if you want secrecy, if you want economy, if you want personal touch with customers, independent way of life, no sharing of profit, and if you want a business which is easy to form, you can go for sole proprietorship concern. Formation of sole tradership business. Formation of sole tradership business concern is a simple process. It does not involve any legal formalities. It doesn't need any partnership deed as in case of partnership firm. However, permission from municipal corporation is required. Formation of a sole tradership business. Formation of sole trader concern is based on the decision of the sole proprietor. Before deciding, he has to forecast the demand of goods and plan for the capital required to start his business. Merits of sole proprietorship business. There is sense of accomplishment. Decision making is quick. Confidentiality of information is maintained. Direct incentive, ease of formation and closure. Merits: quick decision making. A sole proprietor enjoys centralized control over his business. He can promptly take decision without consulting others. Confidentiality of information. A sole trader is not bound by law to publish firm's accounts. As a result, he can maintain confidentiality of information. A sole proprietor has a direct motive to work hard for the success of his business. Being the single owner of business, he is the sole recipient of all profits of business. Merits: sense of accomplishment. The success of sole proprietorship business is the result of hard work of the sole proprietor. Therefore, he gets immense personal satisfaction of his achievements in business. Ease of formation and closure. There is minimum legal formalities in setting up or closing down a sole proprietorship form of business. Therefore, it is very easy to start or close a sole proprietorship business. What is limitations? Lack of managerial expertise, limited capital, unlimited liability, limited size, lack of continuity. Limited resources. The total investment in business is limited to the personal savings of the sole proprietor and his capacity to borrow from others. Hence, he has relatively limited resources. Limited life of business. A sole proprietor business lacks stable existence. Any event like death, insolvency, etc. of a proprietor creates an adverse effect on business. Unlimited liability. Sometimes the business assets are not sufficient to pay off the firm's external liability. The sole proprietor has to sell off his personal assets to pay off the liability of the business. His personal properties are also sold off. Limited managerial ability. The success of a sole proprietor firm of business organization depends upon the managerial skill of the sole proprietor, which is very limited. Due to limited resources, a sole proprietor cannot avail the services of professional employees also. Suitability of sole proprietorship. Small business requiring modest capital and limited managerial talent, as in the case of retail stores. In those lines of business where there is a need for greater personal attention to customers, as in tailoring, professional services like medicine, legal services, sole proprietorship is suitable. In the production of handicrafts or traditional goods like embroidery or artistic things, where the individual has certain skills with the help of which he wants to earn his livelihood independently, for catering to the demands of local market like perishable products like laundry, grocery, etc. Recapitulation. A sole trader is a person who carries on a business exclusively on his own account and at his own risk. Features: formation and closure is easy, unlimited liability, lack of business continuity, no separate entity, sole risk bearer and recipient of profit, control is in the hand of sole proprietor. Merits: quick decision making, sense of accomplishment, confidentiality of information, direct incentive, ease of formation and closure. Demerits: lack of managerial expertise, unlimited liability, limited size, limited capital, lack of continuity. Now here we come to an end of the topic. You will get the assignments later. Thank you.